So Tia, a tough one at the weekend, but I suppose you always have those kind of days in the Premier League, any season. It's just one of those days, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was an uphill task. I think going down to 10 men so early, it's basically 90 minutes. It was difficult, but I think we maybe could have done better first half. I mean, it still should be fairly hard to score against 10 men. So going in at half time 3-0 down was disappointing, and yeah, the game was more or less over from that moment.
You had maybe an earlier call to action than what you maybe were expecting. It must have been difficult considering the circumstances, but what was kind of said to you when you came on just before half time?
To try and get us a little bit of possession, a little bit of structure, get like some hold of the game if you can with 10 men. But yeah, I didn't expect to come on before half time, but yeah, it's just circumstances and personnel changed, and I think it was me and Issa came on at the same time. But second half was a bit better. Obviously, we drew 1-1 in the second half. They had a couple of chances, so did we. But yeah, it was a hard day.
You mentioned we actually drew when you came on, and I've seen plenty of praise about the way you played, particularly when you came on. Were you pleased with the way you performed when you got on the pitch?
Yeah. I was pleased with the way I performed personally. I tried to do what I always do when I come on, get on the ball and get us playing, help the team. Depends how the game's going really this season. I've been coming on and we've either been winning or drawing, and a little bit of time wasting sometimes in the corner. But listen, you've got to do what you can to help the team, and yeah, I will always do that.
But despite that result, it's been a much encouraging start to this season, hasn't it?
Oh, massively. Listen, we're mid-table. We'd have definitely took this at the start of the season. But we need to, I think Saturday's, do you know what I mean, just proof that you can't ever lose concentration or slip up or not think you'd have to run the hard yards. You do get punished in this league, as we all know. So we need to get back at it and hopefully 3 points next.
A bit of a trivial question, but we saw you take a shot and your pants came down a bit. I'm not sure what happened there. Just wanted to ask you about that. What kind of happened there? Can you talk us through that?
I don't know. Don't ask me. The thing is, I do it in training sometimes. I do something rubbish or do something that annoys me. I just kind of forgot where I was. And yeah, that's what happened.
So you just pulled them down, just?
Yeah, a little frustration, but I didn't really mean to come down that far. But the pictures and the reels, the Premier League's tagged me and everything. So it's just one of them things.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the football. We faced West Ham at the London Stadium on Sunday. They managed to get a win against Wolves last time out, so I'm sure you're expecting a challenging trip there.
Yeah, difficult, very difficult. I mean, I've played West Ham a few times and we've never beat them. So, look, they're on a little bit of a upward trajectory, and yeah, it's going to be a difficult game. But the way we have played most of the season, we're a good game for anyone. So yeah, hope for it Saturday. And
when you get back to Motspur Park after a defeat like the weekend, are things any different preparation-wise, or is it just a case of keep the heads down and do what we always do?
Yeah, the atmosphere is a little bit more down. Do you know what I mean? Just naturally, just like a defeat takes a few days to get over and out of the system. But yeah, training's been intense as usual. So we've got a couple of injuries. Obviously, like the bench had changed a little bit at the weekend as well. So yeah, we need everyone to get back as quick as possible.
But for us, I suppose, last season we showed it a lot of times where we'd come back from a setback and bounce back straight away, and we need to do that again on Sunday, right?
I think that's a sign of any good team. I mean, I think that's why we won the league. Any bad performance or bad defeat last season, we answered it quite emphatically and quickly. So yeah, it'd be nice to do that this weekend.